Are you planning an exotic vacation to Greece? We've rounded up all the reasons why you should choose Santorini for your trip. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon for our future videos. Please enjoy. Surrounded by turquoise water, the island is cluttered with multi-colored cliffs, hot-headed volcanoes, and acres of sun-toasted sand. Adding to the marvels of nature are the ancient relics, delectable cuisine, and adrenaline-pumping activities, all of which make your trip unforgettable. Here's a closer look at what the island has in store for you. Santorini is known as one of the most visually interesting of the Greek islands, and with its volcanoes and whitewashed buildings set against a vibrant blue sky, it's not hard to see why. Whether you're into your photography or just really appreciate great views, Santorini will get you gasping at just about every corner. Centuries ago, a volcanic eruption transformed the surface of the island by leaving behind cauldron-shaped calderas in its wake. The island managed to survive this catastrophic event by building an infrastructure that mimics its rugged landscape. The towns in Santorini are a sight to behold as they spill over the land. Their stoic whitewashed houses, dome-shaped architecture, and colorful displays present itself as a unique welcoming party. As they cling to the remnants of the caldera. 1. The best sunset in the world. It sounds like a big brag, but Santorini is argued to have one of the best sunset views in the entire world. The sun just seems to drop into the sea in a haze of gold and amber. Oya is known as the best place to view the sunset, and people flock there early every evening just to experience it. People turn up by the coachload, and restaurants and bars have priced their meals and drinks accordingly. If you want to avoid the crowds, the views from Ferostefani, just down the road, are almost as spectacular, and you can appreciate the view without having to fight for a space. Your visit to Santorini will be incomplete if you don't spend at least one evening in Oya to witness its marvelous sunset. The town is known as the ideal spot to witness the island's infamous sunset. You can watch the sky turn 50 shades of candy floss pink, lavender purple, and blazing orange as the sun departs for the day. 2. The romance sunsets, delicious wine, beautiful buildings. All of these things ensure that Santorini is the place for lovers. It's also the place for weddings, so if there's anything that will tip you into getting married, it's seeing all these blissful-looking couples having their photographs taken against stunning backdrops. Of all the wonderful activities you can do here, our favorite is a boat tour or catamaran cruise. The tour lets you sail along the coastline to visit its famous locations. These include a tour of the dormant volcano, craters, and hot springs. Some tours allow you to swim in the soothing warm waters of Nea Kameni, a place that's known for its healing powers. The best part is that these boat tour packages include scrumptious snacks and lip-smacking cocktails too. 3. The fascinating landscapes. Much of Santorini is built on the rim of an old, extinct volcano. They call this the caldera, which is why you'll see towns that look as though they are tumbling down the hillside. The effect is remarkable and extremely photogenic, but it does mean that roads and pavements are very steep. For instance, in the capital of Fira there are only 3 ways down to the port and back up again, by cable car, walking up or down the hundreds of steps, or by donkey. Even if you decide not to do this little excursion, the steps are everywhere, often uneven and all at different heights and lengths. This is not the place to wear your heels. Sensible shoes are a must, and anyone with mobility problems should be aware that this may not be an ideal location. There is also a live volcano, which you can visit by boat on a day trip. 4. The spirituality. Greek Orthodox is the ruling denomination here, along with a small percentage of Catholicism. Whether you are religious or not, you'll have to agree that it makes a large stamp on the landscape here. On Santorini, especially in the villages, you'll find that almost every house has its own private chapel. Indeed, the villagers all come together to help build each resident their own chapel, and all are that beautiful combination of white, each with a sky blue roofs, blue so that they reach out to the sky, where God resides. 5. To Faghetto and wine. Santorini has rapidly evolved into a gastronomy destination. The island features everything from fusion food at fine dining areas to traditional platters at taverns. Then there are the trendy Euro joints and scrumptious seafood that complete the food scene. Most menus contain delectable dishes featuring indigenous fruits and vegetables like white eggplants, juicy tomatoes, fava, and caper. Adding to this are the robust Santorinian wine and the intoxicating concoction of refreshing cocktails served all over the island. Fish and seafood lovers will be delighted by the food on Santorini, but Greek staples like moussaka and souvlaki are well in evidence. There are a plethora of tavern-style eateries, but you can also find beautiful upmarket fare and presentation in places like Oya. Santorini wine is award-winning and it's well worth making visit to a vineyard to do some wine tasting. Santo, with its stunning views, is where the tourists tend to go, but it's worth noting that there are many smaller vineyards you can peruse. Its low level of rainfall, together with the volcanic landscape and soil, mean that Santorini is a unique environment for home-grown food and wine, and that is reflected in what you will see and eat. 6. The photography. If you've got an eye for architecture, then you'll love walking around the island to look at its old neighborhood and towns. The winding alleys lead you to cozy cave dwellings, sacred churches, and neoclassical mansions. Each of them represents a bygone era. All you have to do is stroll the streets and let them narrate the wonderful tales of the past. Almost every corner brings something new for a photographer, from iconic whitewashed buildings to the rich blue of the sea surrounding it. 7. The archaeology. From the Bronze Age, prehistoric civilizations to the legend of Atlantis, the island has been associated with many historical time periods since the first archaeological dig. Until now, we have found quite a few interesting relics from these places. If you're a history buff, then you should visit the archaeological site of Akrotiri to see the ancient settlement for yourself. You can also stop by the Museum of Prehistoric Thera or the Archaeological Museum to look at the exhibition and loot gathered from the latest excavations. If you're fascinated by archaeology, then the excavations at Akrotiri are unmissable. They're said by many to be one of the most important prehistoric settlements anywhere. Dating back to 3600 BC, this is a town that, like Pompeii, was destroyed by the volcanic ash from an earthquake. 8. The ghost town Santorini has suffered from numerous earthquakes over the years, with the biggest in living memory being one in 1965. It left the town of Macedonia a ghost town, which you can now visit. Wander through its deserted streets, although there are now a handful of people living there, and watch the wild cats that are its main inhabitants. 9. The location. Perhaps the biggest reason to visit Santorini is its numerous travel routes. You can find many international and domestic flights that fly from major cities of Greece to this island. It's also got an international airport that is 5 kilometers away from the capital, Fira. After landing here, you may board a bus, rent a car or hitchhike your way around the magnificent island. What if the plane ticket is too expensive for you? Then you can catch a ferry to the mainland ports of Piraeus and Rufina from Santorini, or go island hopping around Ios, Anafi, Crete, Naxos and Paros, amongst others. 10. The water sports. If getting into the water is your idea of a great holiday, then Santorini also ticks the box for an active trip. Parissa and Kamari are the two main centers for water sports. Here you'll find black volcanic sand and can take part in diving, water skiing, wind kiting and banana boating. Lined with bars and restaurants, these beaches are also perfect for those who just want to lie back, chill out and catch the sun. Many travelers come to the island to escape the chaotic city life. They can lounge on the beach here for hours at end, taking in the awe-inspiring scenes. If you're looking for something adventurous, then you can always go on an exciting jet ski ride, deep dive into the underwater world with scuba diving lesson, take a romantic horse ride with your special someone, book a photo tour to capture the beauty of the island, visit the magical castles and other historic sites, and much more. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon for our future videos. Stay well and enjoy life.